Today we are going to discuss about the buying process of the customer or the buying behavior of the customer in the retail sector. So before doing that, there are a certain question which needs to be addressed, and these are: how do customer decide which retailer to go and what merchandise to buy? That is very important question. The second is, what social and personal factor affects the customer purchase decision? Then, how can retailer get customer to visit their store more frequently and buy more merchandise during each visit? And the last one is, why and how do retailer group customer into a market segment? So when any retailer find the answer for these questions, that would be become a successful retailer in the retail sector. So starting with a buying process, the first stage in that process is need recognition. Now here the process was of two different things. One, we are selecting the retailer and channel, the other is selecting a merchandise. Now the process is same for both the thing, whether we are selecting the retailer or we are selecting the merchandise. The very first step is need recognition, that we need to recognize our need, that which type of retailer we want or which type of a product we want. So these two things in case of a retailer and in case of a merchandise need to be identified. After identifying the need, the next thing is information search. Now we are at the stage where we want to search the information about the different retailer who are providing that product which we required. And in case of selecting merchandise, we need to collect the information relating to product which we want according to our need. After the information search, the next step is evaluation. Now the evaluation means now we are comparing the retailer or comparing the product. That is an analyzing state. After analyzing or evaluating, the next thing is a choice. Now we are at a stage where we going to choose a retailer from which we are buying the product, or the product we choose which we are decided to buy. After doing the choice, the next thing is visit. The visit to store or by internet sites or catalog, or in case of a product or a selecting merchandise, you can purchase the merchandise. And the last step in this is a loyalty. Loyalty in case of selecting the retailer and the channel is repeat the patronage of the retailer, that repeating to purchase a product from that particular retailer. And in case of selecting merchandise, the last step is post purchase evaluation. Post purchase evaluation generally means what was your experience after the purchase. That depends upon the loyalty. Now the next thing is, there are a different type of need according to which customer reacts. Accordingly, the first one is utilitarian needs. So these needs satisfy when purchases accomplish a specific task. That is, a shopping need to be easy, effortless, like Sam's or a grocery stores. Means when we are there to accomplish a specific task, we are carrying a list of some groceries we want to buy, and that we know that need can be fulfilled only in the grocery store. So that is our utilitarian needs, which satisfy when purchase accomplished a specific task. When we accomplish our task, we are satisfied. That need is these kind of needs. Next is hedonic needs. Satisfied when purchase accomplished a need for entertainment, emotional, recreation experience as a departmental store or a specialty store. Likewise, we are going somewhere in a D-Mart or in a Walmart, best price. Here we are finding something for entertainment or a recreation for experience we got. And basically, these are hedonic needs which satisfy when our need for entertainment, emotions, or recreation got satisfied. And these are generally do at a departmental stores or a specialty stores. Now, the hedonic needs that retailer can satisfy, which are these needs. These are the examples. So, first one is stimulation. That is background music or visual display. Like you enter into a store, there was some light music which is playing on the background. The scent or the fragrance of the store was epic. You want that. Uh, that was a mesmerizing environment which you are experiencing. That also stimulate the customer to purchase something. Then is satisfy need for power and status, like Canon Hatch upscales health resorts. So satisfy need for power and status when the sales staff in your retail store handles you according to your need and according to your status, you satisfy from them. Then is the advent. Advent means treasure hunting for bargains. Like we need some coupons or a discount. If we do this, there was a something for us. These are kind of a treasure hunting. Like if you are going in a mall, there are a certain kind of events which are running on the side by side regarding the shopping. That was an advent that satisfy your entertainment or recreation needs. So the next is information search. Amount of information search depend upon the value from searching versus the cost of searching. If you want to search something, that is depend upon the two factor, what you search and what expenses you incurred on that particular search. The factor affecting amount of information search, these are complexity, how complex the information is which you are searching, what was the cost which you incurred, then the customer characteristic like their past experience, their perceived risk or their time pressure, and another characteristics is number of alternative brands. Like if which you are dealing having a number of alternative things, that is also very important to handle well. After information, there are various sources of information from which you get the information about retailer or a merchandise you want to select. If I'm talking about internal sources, that are our past experience or our memories, that yeah, I'm going to that store and from there I'm buying that product, that is my memory or my past experience. Yeah, I used that product after 1 month ago and this was my experience and now I don't want to buy that product, that was my outcome. The another factor are the external factors. The external factors are the customer reports, advertisement, word of mouth. Word of mouth was very good marketing technique. Like when we are gossiping or when we are talking about some product with our friends, they talk about that product with their friends, and these are the word of mouth and a buzz marketing also. Now, how can retailer limit the information search? Look, there is no limitation of information. Whenever we are going to search some information, there is no full stop. Now, how can retailer limit the information search? The information search from sales associates provide an assortment of services, like which type of services the retailer is providing. The information was only related to that. Provide a good assortment, everyday low pricing or a credit. These are some parameters on which the retailer can limit their information search. Now the next, after information search, the next is evaluation of alternative. Yeah, there was multi-attribute attitudinal model. Customers see a retailer, then product, service as a collection of attributes or a characteristic. Predict the customer evaluation of a retailer, product or a service basis. Like anybody experienced that whenever we are going to search something on the internet, the next time when we open the same page, that product was blink in front of us. That was the collection of attributes by the retailers. Or they can predict the customer evaluation according to performance of their relevant attributes, the importance of those attributes for the customer. If you are searching something about clothing, then they know if once you add, you want a 42 size or a 41 size, the next time you will see that thing is blink on there. So they get to know about the importance of those attributes to the customer, which help the customer to purchase the product. Then is the information used for evaluating retailer, like importance weight or importance belief. Like they are dividing these, like you are a single woman, parent with 4 children, then performance benefit, super center, how you perform, how the performance was rated in super center or in grocery stores or in a supermarket. So they prepare some feedback form according to which you can evaluate the retailers also. Now getting into a consideration set. A consideration set is basically the alternative of customer evaluate when making selection. When we have a list of so much of things and we need to evaluate which is best for us, is the consideration set. The things which we are considered. The retailer develop program influencing top of mind awareness, get exposure on search engine like Google's, try to be a top of the page, more stores in the same areas, example Starbucks. So these all are the things which the retailer wants the customer to be considered before coming into their outlets. So that is also important thing. Now the method for increasing the chance of a store visit after get into the consideration set. When the customer was evaluating their consideration set, now what was the method in which we enhance the store visits? So increase the performance belief of your store, decrease performance belief about your competitors. Your belief should be increased, but your competitors' belief should be decreased. Increase importance weight of attributes on which you have advantage and add a new benefit on which you excel. So these are a certain things or a certain method which increase the chance of a store visit after getting into the consideration. Now after then, when we are evaluating the things, the next thing is purchasing merchandise or service. Customer do not always purchase a brand with the highest overall evaluation. The high rated item may not be available in the store. The items which they see on their displays or which they see on their catalogs was not there in the store. So high rated item may not be there. How can the retailer increase the chance that a customer will convert merchandise evaluation into purchase? What the customer merchandise? That is the duty of retailer, that they convert them into the purchase. So for this, then is a post-purchase evaluation. That comes and when there was a satisfaction with the product. A post-consumption evaluation of how well a store or a product met customer expectation, whether the product satisfied the customer or not, that is important. Become a part of a customer international information that affect future store and a product decision. And the last is builds loyalty or a brand store or brand loyalty. That is important for the satisfaction. Yeah, you have a nice outlet, there was a nice dealing with the customer, then obviously customer was there, he doesn't go anywhere. Now the next thing is the type of buying behavior. There was a certain type of a buying behavior which was according to the need of a customer. Like the first is extend problem solver. They are high financial or social risk taker person. And a limited problem solving, they are pure buying experience. They rely on their buying experience. And the habitual decision maker means like they are loyal to the brand. They are loyal to that retailer. If they want to purchase, they are going to that person only. So starting with first, extended problem solving. The consumer devote time and effort analyzing the alternatives. Yeah, if I want to buy something, I definitely devote my time and effort to check which product suits my expectation. So there is three types of risk which are associated with that. One is a financial risk, like I'm purchasing an expensive product or services and it results into disaster, then there was a financial risk for me. Then is a physical risk, purchase that will affect the consumer health and safety. Like I'm buying certain electronic item, then it got short circuit in my house, that affect my safety, that affect my health, that is also there. So there is a kind of a personal risk present there. Then is a social risk, consumer will believe product will affect how other view them. Like that is a social belief that their friend told us this product is very good, you should give them a try. Then he believed that yeah, this product is good, I will give the product a try. What to do retailers need to do for a customer engaged in extended problem solving? So provide a lot of information. Whenever any customer sets a feet in your store, just provide them a lot of information. Communicate with your customer. This reduces the risk. Offer them guarantees, offer them privileges so that the customer returns to your store. The next thing is limited problem solving. That is a purchase decision process involving moderate amount of effort and time. Like it, analyzing of which does not take a lot of a time, but yeah, certain time was investing in it. So the customer engage in this when they have had prior experience of a product, and the customer rely upon their personal knowledge. Majority of a customer decision involve limited problem solving. Yeah, they use that product earlier, so they go to that shop and buy the same product. Now engaged, what the retailer do for engaged in limited problem solving things? So it depends. If the customer is coming to you, provide a positive experience and create loyalty. Make sure the customer is satisfied, provide a good service, assortment, values, offer them reward, give them a loyalty card. If the customer goes to your competitor store, change your behavior. Often more convenient location, better services and assortment help the customer to retain. Then is encouraging impulse buying. Impulse buying is one of the most common type of limited problem solving behavior. Influencing by using prominent point of purchase or a point of sale. Have salesperson suggest add-ons, have complimentary merchandise display near the product of interest, use signage or a special display, put a merchandise where the customer are waiting. So rely them or advertise your product where the customer are there. Now the next is habitual problem solving. Purchase decision process involve little or no conscious effort. For that, for merchandise, customer have to purchase in the past and the customer loyal to that brand. If I'm using a Tata Salt, I am using the Tata Salt. I am loyal to that customer or brand. That is my habitual thing. So for that, I'm not doing any more effort. Now, what the retailer need to do to handle such type of a people, it also depends. Like if we want to change the customer habit, we need to reinforce their behavior. Make sure that merchandise was in your store, provide the good service, offer rewards. If the customer goes to competitors, then change your habit, then offer them a special performance promotions. Then is the customer loyalty. The customer loyalty, how? That is in the form of brand loyalty and the store loyalty. Brand loyalty comes when we are committed to specific brand. We are not going to switch to the different brand, may switch retailers to buy brand. Then is a social loyalty, committed to a specific retailer, reluctant to switch the retailer, and we need not to go to any store. There is a one simple, my favorite store. Every time I visit that store, that is my store loyalty. Now there are certain social factors which influencing the buying decision. And the social factor might be my family, my reference groups, and my culture. Like I'm going to buy certain thing. My mother said that this is not good for you. That obviously affect my buying decision. So how the family influence, like purchase our attire family to use. The whole family participate in the decision making process. The retailer work to satisfy all the family members in case this. So if you want to satisfy the family, you need to take care of all the needs of a family. Then is a reference group. Reference group can be the person or like friends the person uses as a base of a comparison of beliefs or a feeling. Reference group may be influenced by giving us information, providing rewards, or enhancing the customer's self-image also. Then is a culture. It is a belief, like we have a different culture, Western culture, Eastern culture, subculture, distinctive group. So that depends according to culture also. Now next is approaches for segmented market. Segmentation is dividing a single heterogeneous market into homogeneous market into different homogeneous markets. So geographical segmentation group customer according to the place where they live. Domestic segmentation group the customer on the basis of their characteristic like gender, income, education. So these are how we divide our market. Then is geo-demographic segmentation, use both geographic and demographic characteristic. Then is a lifestyle psychographic, refers to how people live, how they spend, what activity they are pursuing, what are their attitude, what are their opinion about the world, or these factors. Then is buying situation can influence customer with the same demographic or a lifestyle. Benefit segmentation group customer seeking a similar benefits. So these are the ways in which we can divide our market. So hope you guys enjoy this lecture, and that's it for today. Thank you so much for listening this lecture and hope you like it.